And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to our VP of Global Sales, and he just happens to be one of my friends, Russ Cowley.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Melissa. It's been a beautiful journey with you with so much on the personal side and, of course, business as well. But everybody, hey, happy Saturday. This is amazing. Thanks, Robin, for putting this together. And excited to hear everybody else too as we move throughout today. I'm going to talk a little bit about XMD. And more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about some of the processes so that we can better understand some of the expectations so we can avoid some of the pitfalls that you might have been experiencing. First, let me just kind of at a high level talk about this is been a significant shift. As you all know, this isn't just like adding a new product. It's a nutraceutical. It's not like just a simple, innovative new supplement pill that we've added to our line. It is very different on so many scales and on so many levels. But the thing that I get charged up about when we start talking about this and we continue to develop our XMD line and the processes and the procedures is Zingular, is highly unique right now. In fact, I often tell people we are the only company that has this because we are. There's one out there that has one little thing from a nutraceutical side, but not to the breadth we do. So we are definitely in a position right now where we are unique in the marketplace. And that's again attracting individuals to us. We are learning a ton. You guys are learning a ton. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your tenacity, your perseverance, all the things that you continue to go out and do to learn these features and these aspects of a pharmaceutical world. A world that has a ton of regulatory impact, a ton that has the HIPAA components and all the things that we want to do as partners is you guys go and take care of your customers, which I know you do an amazing, amazing thing at. But not always can we help them to the extent that we can with this nutraceutical side because there are laws, there are regulations. So it's an opportunity for us, though, to empower our partners and our customers who are using the XMD products to really take hold of their health journey in maybe the most significant way than they ever have. We love this product line. We love these peptide therapies. We see the results. You are all seeing results in such a short period of time across the board from individuals who are experiencing these. So with that being said, perhaps today I'm going to be a little bit more technical in what I'm going to talk about. And like you, Taylor, I just have some papers today. I will bring up my slide here or my screen here in a second. I share with you some information that's relative to you. It's going to be off of my patient portal. So I'm giving you permission today to see my HIPAA stuff. First of all, let's just talk through the different silos, okay? The different pieces that this whole journey runs through. I think this first step will help. First of all, we all understand that the enrollment process for them going through somebody who's coming in on an XMD, that first step is that intake form. Well, the first step is you to refer, of course, right? Give them your link. Once they go down that path of the intake form, it is the most important thing. The most important thing to accept that this is a path in which will dictate. That's a strong word, I realize, but it will dictate their options. Because behind the scenes, what's happening when someone goes through their health journey on that intake form, they're answering questions that are very personal to them. Oftentimes, I'm seeing they tell you those things, but those things also shouldn't be out in the world. And so they're going to go through some of those stories or those experiences. But really what they're looking at is they're looking at a few things, specifically what boils down to your BMI and if there's any comorbidities with that individual's health journey. Comorbidity meaning that there's more than one illness or more than one disease, more than one sickness. Where BMI is one of those, the other one, if they have anything else, it's going to put them down. Imagine the intake form is like a maze that you start at the beginning, and then depending on the answers to the questions, it routes you down to the outcome. One of the more important things as well, I feel like I'm going to say that word a lot today, but this is not something that we go to a menu. It's not something someone can simply, hey, I want this, I'm going to order that. Do you want fries with it? No, there's none of that type of stuff happening. It truly is the intake form that will dictate what their options are. With some edge cases, they may see something that says, we probably should go this route with you. Please know, like the providers, again, they're getting better. Things are getting better. But please know that I have seen a lot of cases where what the provider had elected to inform the patient is the right thing for the patient. It may have been saying they wanted to do a micro, but the provider said, look, your BMI, your situation, you're going to be better served with a macro or the medical weight loss. So then there's some changes with that we're ironing out, but that's again a benefit for that individual. Now, people should advocate for themselves, right? Hey, I understand. I would really like to start this route, whatever it may be. But I just want you all to have confidence that intake form is truly giving them their options that they're going to have. In fact, I got to say this really quick too, as it relates to providers. Without the specifics of it, there was a situation yesterday, last night, that I was made aware of. And the type of network, the type of information that is gathered for that provider, I am proud. I'm proud what Singular does. I'm proud what XMD is doing because I have heard and seen situations where others have put themselves in a situation because a provider said it was okay, but our providers are more conservative and they really do look out for your patients, for your customers, for our partners, and their safety, knowing that what they put in that intake form is going to really, again, dictate those sort of outcomes. I could not be as proud as I was last night on some of the outcome. Now, was the customer happy? Not exactly, but I will say this. It was for their benefit and they understood. They really understood. And to that end, I love that we are really mindful of that. So that's the first thing, okay, is again, that power of that intake form. Once that intake form's done, it's going to go into a provider review. You're all aware that the provider review element is, again, a state regulated mandated component that it may be required or may not be required depending on where you're at. I'll keep going. But once after they've done that review, the async, okay, async meaning that it's just a non-live visit, those we see go pretty stinking quick. In fact, there's an individual in Texas, again, I won't say any names, but it was amazing to see everyone. They took the intake form at 8:09 a.m. They had their tracking number at 11:05 a.m., 3 hours. Boom, lickety split. And then it got delivered the next day. That's the kind of experience we want everyone to have, but realize that there is provider time to review of course, the intake form. And then they approve the prescription, they approve the medication, and it then gets sent to the pharmacy. And at the pharmacy, it gets confirmed. Perhaps maybe this is one of those areas that, again, we bring a lot of focus to. We being the corporate to our partner, that to make sure that those pharmacies are moving that ball along as quick as possible. Honestly, I know this is going to sound interesting, but pat yourself on the back because we have created a massive flood for them. And they are feeling the pressure of network marketing, which is a beautiful thing and something that should be proud of. There's somebody's pants on the screen. That's interesting, Robin. Oh, well, it's me. It's got to be me, right? It's going to be distracted. That's all right.
Never know what's going to happen on these. I don't know why that's happening, but I'm trying to fix it.
You're good, guys. And it's honestly fine. Just listen to my words because I just want to be able to go through this and make sure everybody understands. So anyway, the pharmacy is where they're going to fulfill those. And then, of course, it gets sent out, logistics, and shipped out. We purposely wanted to make sure that the volume that you earn gets pulled into your portal and into your back office once that gets tracking. Why? Because that gives us the assurance the volume that is posting in your accounts is the right volume that we're going to pay on. Previously, we had done some things where the volume could come in earlier, but it had created an exposure of additional costs for the company, additional commissions cost, which again, you love, but it was actually paying people out twice, which resulted in some clawbacks. You may have noticed today, you saw a lot of volume hit today. For some of you that are running for X5, you're running for rank right now, you're seeing that. today because we actually made some adjustments on that, and we're willing to do a couple of things to make sure volume hits here at the end of the month, but tracking numbers will still come on those pending orders. Let me go back and just review this section. You've got Singular, you've got our partner, you've got a network of providers, and then you've got pharmacies, and then you've got the logistics arm. So there's a lot of major organizations that this journey is running through, and something of which that is, again, being improved upon every single day. I'm really, really proud of the team for making that happen. I'm proud for each one of you for just being patient within that process. On the intake form as I move forward, one of the more important things that happen too is people don't quite get to the submit button. They pay, but they don't keep going. So can you all help me here? Maybe put in the comments or something to the extent of that success is when you hit submit. Some mantra when you talk to your network of individuals, your customers, your partners that you're referring to, when they go through the intake form, let them know that success is when you hit submit, because that button of submission actually goes in and sends everything off to the parties, the providers and whatnot, to have them review that. There are delays that have happened because they haven't got to the submit button, and then they wonder where things are at. So again, it's a function of which we want to make sure that the payment is collected so that the provider then knows that there's a commitment before they go and do their work to review. If it was opposite of that, there'd be a lot of providers getting schedules and there may be no exchange of dollars. And that, of course, wouldn't be a smart business component. Should there be any reason why they can't qualify for it, of course, refunds will happen. That's that first little element. I want to talk a little bit more now. I had 10 points, but I'm cutting a couple out for time's sake. I wanted to talk about the refill process and the refill process and the communication that comes. This last week, we incorporated additional communication journeys, which are, again, texting, emails, that let the individuals know, hey, here is where your particular subscription is at. It may feel like a lot, but to the individual, it really is helpful to make sure that they're feeling that they know the ball is moving, the ball is rolling. There were some bigger gaps that we recognized in that communication path, especially around some of the refills. We have a new one that's going to come out next week on Monday, or they may have even turned it on today. It just helps people know that if there's a change, or there's a request, or there's a feeling, or there's a thought, then we're putting in more actionable items for you. Can you all also do me a favor? And if anybody gets a text, if anybody gets a question or an email from XMD, just respond to it. Sometimes they too are learning some processes and some functionalities, but more often than not, when somebody wants to change a prescription, where they want to go from a microdose to a macro dose, things can look funky. Things look canceled, and there's other emails that come out. There's other requirements for an intake on the macro. There may be a few things that happen when a change is going on, which can feel painful, but they are just trying to make sure that you are getting what you want. So just respond. Use every text, every email as just a call to action for completion and accuracy for what you're going towards. And again, they're working on more components with that as well. Also, with any changes, it requires a provider review, which may require another live visit. It may require more review for that. And again, they're going to go back, look at BMI, they're going to look at the comorbidities, and they're going to make sure, which again is why I really like to emphasize that the intake form will dictate their best outcome for that patient and individual. And so we can't and we shouldn't ever sell them on you need to get a micro when they may be in a situation that macro is better or vice versa. Please, I think you'll save yourselves a lot of potential pain if you let the intake form do the mandating. And then finally, as I close up, let's go on a journey with me, if you will, to the websites and the portals. I'm going to go ahead and give you all permission to see my patient portal so that I can just walk through a few things with you each this morning. As you all know, you'll come in to log in to the patient portal. Quick note on this is that when you come to XMD Wellness, and you log in, hopefully everybody gets this, you're going to a patient portal. But when you go to Singular.com and you log in, you're going to your XBO or your your customer's particular Singular account, right? So some delineage there that we can continue to add some notes there that would say patient portal login or something of that nature. Once they log in and they're in their portal, a few things here. I gotta say, guys, honestly, marketing is just amazing. They're so freaking beautiful at this company. I love what they do, but this homepage is packed with great information. And I again want to remind everybody that they can go through, should they come in as a customer through XMD, they can still go down this path to become a partner should they want to upgrade. Hopefully each one of you have taken a notice on this. The portal creation for an account for a patient is actually created very early in the intake process. Once they put in their email, their phone number, and they get a few questions into that intake form, a portal's created for them. Because what may happen is someone may not complete a form. They can come back into here, their patient portal right away, and they'll see underneath the forms and notes that if there is an outstanding form, they'll complete that form. Anytime that something's clicked on, available forms, especially within here, it's going to create an outstanding form. They're working on a great version 2 of a patient portal that will help with some of the ease of communication. But this information here where I really want to call out today. This instruction, patient medication instruction, and this weight management encounter, these are helpful to know. Letting your particular individuals be aware that if you have a question, go into your patient portal and take a look at these documents. The encounter is the provider's review. It's the visit with the provider. This particular one for me, it was a async style, but clicking on it, again, it gives the information, and I would highly recommend reading all of it, every last word, because there's so much valuable information in here, so much help and support for the journey that individual's on. Be sure to have them read through all of that information. But once they see the instructions show up here, this really is saying this is the instructions for the medication that has been sent to the pharmacy. And you can see the pharmacy information down here and all of the details. This is mine. Then, of course, under here, the education component with, again, what marketing has done, awesome stuff. If you want to quickly become very proficient and your folks want to, have them hop in here and go through this information. Chanel's done and her team done just an amazing job. Then the orders and payments, you'll see here what they have ordered or what they've ordered. And then managing the subscriptions takes them to the payment. There is great knowledge to know when you're on that order screen or the payment screen, when you click on manage subscription. Bear with me, I'm not going to share that with you today. You'll see when the next charge is due, you're going to see the order sets and the charges that are made. If you ever have a concern, go there first. And if you feel like something's not right, reach out to XMD, and again, they will help you. They will make sure that everything is set up right on that. So that's a few things within the patient portal. Taking some time going through that. I believe, again, most of you are well proficient with that in making sure that everybody knows, but it's a great place to go to help individuals get there for particular information or questions answered. And finally, I just wanted to remind everybody that, again, this opportunity that we have at Zingler is huge. We have, to Oliver's point earlier, a lot of new partners that are coming in. They're seeing what the opportunity is, and they're recognizing it. That just means great business potential for you guys. And so we have said, listen, if they come in, they can get that partner fee for $1 for free. Now, there's two different options. Again, they can come through the patient portal like I shared and do the upgrade path, or should they want to become the partner first, they can. The simple journey, and I'll just say this, you all have done this for long enough that you'll know visually in your mind that if someone were to come in and enroll under your site, they'll shop, they'll place something in their cart. Once they become and request to become a partner underneath the screen here, then it will start them down that information for their account, their social, all of that great stuff. Once they select partner and they've finished that information, the partner fee will automatically on its own become $1. Now, of course, they're going to need nutraceuticals. So we'd love for them to buy those, but maybe there's a strategy, and if they don't want to and they just want to get that $1, they could delete that item and they'll still just pay that $1 fee and complete the information. Of course, you all know this as well. Emails trump everything. Make sure that all of the emails are correct when they go through that they're consistent, it'll save yourselves a lot of time and pain as well. So I hope that shared with some good information for you guys today. And we continue to get questions myself at Helaman, our member service. We're doing a lot of work and we're excited for it. I was thinking the other day that you guys remember back in the day when you had to pay per text. I would be in the poor farm right now. I'm so grateful that technology is advanced so that we can get unlimited text. It's great. Okay, so with that, if there's any other questions, you can feel free to call in a member service, reach out to Helaman, myself. And again, it's going to be our honor to help you. Now I get to introduce Miss Heather Mann, who, congratulations, just today hit the rank of manager, which is awesome to see that happening. A bunch more ranks, a bunch more X5s this month, and she's right in that mix.